we have the keyboard from Kansas, the keyboard player, Tom Brislin, Jersey guy on New Jersey 101.5. Tom, it's a pleasure. How are you?
I'm good, Steve. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. You know what? I had no idea that, I knew this wasn't Kansas anymore, but I didn't think we had Jersey guys in Kansas. What's that like for you?
It's pretty cool. I mean, I grew up with this music, and like you said, we got two Jersey guys in the band now, me and Zach Rizvi, the guitarist.
Right.
And I've been in the band about a year and a half now, and it's been great.
You wrote 3 songs for the new album, right? Tell us about the new album.
The new album, Absence of Presence, they had started recording it. Actually, no, they didn't start recording it until I got in the band, but they were writing some of the music, and they knew that I write songs as well. And I asked if I could be welcome to the party, and they said, bring it. So I started writing songs, and I wrote some lyrics to some of the songs that were already going on the album. And before I knew it, I ended up having my fingerprints all over this thing.
That's beautiful. Now, the album so far, it was released on July 24th. It's already number 4 on the Billboard Current Rock Albums chart, getting rave reviews. How does it compare to the Kansas sound? Because there's been a lot of changes in the band, you being one of them. How does it compare to, is it like old Kansas, keeping it the tradition, or is it opening up a new Kansas? How would you say?
I'd like to think that it's the best of both worlds, or at least that's what we go for.
Right.
I feel that someone like myself, being a person who grew up hearing and loving Kansas music, I want to pay respect and homage to the classics, but you never want to retread and try to copy it. You know, want to bring it to someplace new, but still have that sort of familiar vibe to it.
That's got to be so hard after, 60, 70 years of rock and roll, not to, to bring something new, not to repeat yourself. And you, first of all, you're the youngest in your family, right? A musical family. You're the youngest. You're the guy that hits the success with all the popularity and the famous bands. You were a fan of Rick Wakeman, and then you joined Yes. What was it like sitting in that chair, knowing who sat in that chair? Were you intimidated at all?
Well, there were a lot of pairs of big shoes to fill. Remember, he was one of several keyboardists for Yes that I adored. And so, and we were doing all the classic stuff. And it was almost like there wasn't even time to get nervous. I just had homework to do, a lot of notes to play.
Absolutely. All right. Now, we're going to play Jersey's opening lines. We're going to talk throughout this hour, but we're going to play Jersey's opening lines. We give the opening line of a song we play every weekend, and if they get it right, they're going to get the new album. So now we have 2 categories, 70s and 80s. We've sent you the music. Which category are you going to use?
Well, I was thinking since Kansas had hits in the 70s and the 80s,
right?
Maybe we could do a little column A, a little column B?
Well, then you got to pick one because I got to take the other one.
Oh, all right. We're alternating. Okay. Yeah. Well, I grew up listening to mostly 80s music, so I'll take the 80s.
All right. You take the 80s. I'll take the 70s. And be in Scotland for you. All right. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to start it off with, hold on, let me make sure I got this right. Sam, can you come in here and make sure I got this right? What I'm going to do is, wait, hold on a second. I have to figure out a way that I could lock you and keep them on. And I'm just having a little bit of technical difficulty. So while we're waiting, let's talk more. This gives us a chance to talk more. Now, you went to Immaculata High School in Somerville, and you were writing songs before you even learned how to play. You were designing album covers and writing songs before you even learned how to play. Talk about putting the cart in front of the horse. I mean, seriously.
Well, that's the thing about when you get introduced to music through albums, the big 12-inch LP with the beautiful album covers, and you see these cool graphics and pictures, and then I start to learn that, okay, wow, there's like a team of people, almost like a sports team. Everybody in this band has a role to play. It's almost like a superhero team. So I knew that that's what I wanted to do. So I started making up my own album covers, and drawing pictures and making song names, and then I had to figure them out on the piano.
Well, that was the way to do it. Okay, we're ready to go now. Leading off, playing center field, our first one is Daffy. AJ's in Union. What's up, kiddo?
You know me.
I remember you.
Hi.
Hi. Say hello to Tom Brislin.
How you doing, Tom?
I'm good. How are you doing tonight?
Very well, thank you.
All right, kiddo. Are you going 70s or 80s?
How about Kansas?
Kansas?
Isn't that a category?
Give her one. No, Kansas is not a category. Kansas is the prize. Otherwise, we'll give you one of Tom's songs, and you have to get it right.
Okay. We'll do 70s.
All right. 70s, that would be me. All right. Let's see what we're doing here from the 70s. From the 70s, Your love is like a tidal wave spinning over my head.
Your love is like a tidal. Give me a second.
Yeah, okay. Take your time. Yeah, it was that one. Yeah, okay.
I'm thinking.
Yeah, take your time.
Sounds like Pat Benatar. But...
It could be. You there?
It's not coming to me.
I hate when that happens.
Yeah, me too. I really wanted that album too.
Well, next time. One never knows. All right, hold on. Let's go to, let's see. Let's go to Trent is in Old Wick on New Jersey 101.5. Hey, Trent.
Hey, how you doing, Steve?
Good. How about you?
I am doing excellent.
Listen to you. Are you a Kansas fan, Trent?
I am a huge Kansas fan. I am a huger Tom Brislin fan.
Really? A huge Tom Brislin fan. We get a lot of those because he's so local. He's right down the road here. You could walk here.
I've been following him since he was with the band Spiraling.
How about that?
A New Jersey-based band. They were great.
Uh-huh. Now, they started off, right? They were before they were Spiraling, right? What were they?
You were Spiraling.
You were Spiraling, right? See, Tom, this is how much you are loved in this town. You were Spiraling, now just spiraling. So,
Trent, your check's in the mail.
If he gets it right, you got to send him a Spiraling album as well, okay?
He's got them all.
Yeah, he probably does. All right, what's your category, Trent?
I am going 80s.
80s, give it to him, Tom.
All right, Trent, here we go. Now, the king told the boogeymen, you have to let that raga drop.
That is going to be one of the best bands of all time, The Clash.
Look at this. Look at this. All right, hold on. 1-800-283-101.5. Look at this, Tom. We've already got winners, right? You know what?
Awesome.
We got more to do. Now, stick around. It's Tom Brislin, keyboard player from Kansas. The new album, Absence of Presence. You could win it if you get Jersey's opening lines right. In the meantime, here's New Jersey 101.5 Fast Traffic. I got to ask you, you played with Renaissance. Did you know, of course, Annie Haslam. Did you know Ed Shockey?
I never got to meet Ed. I would have loved to, but unfortunately that never happened.
He was a great guy. He was one of Annie's best friends. I used to see her all the time when he would bring her to station events. Ed and I worked together in Philadelphia for about 5 years. And a true rock fan, a true radio rock fan. Ed would have like Bruce Springsteen, Billy Joel all sleeping on his couch before they got famous. And he loved Annie Haslam.
Yeah, and he really was instrumental in bringing a lot of that English progressive 70s rock on the air in America too.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. You know what? I got to ask you this before, since he brought it up. You're young, and you were lucky enough to get into 4 heritage bands. Is it intimidating trying to follow in their footsteps, or like when you do it, or when you're taking them in the new direction? What's it like being in that situation, especially with some of the bands that have, the old guys in there, like Meatloaf, not that they're old, but, like Meatloaf and Debbie Harry and all that?
Well, there's always going to be the people that want to see the same guys that they saw back in the day when they first saw the band. Right. And sometimes that's not possible. So my job is to just try to respect the music and respect the audience as much as possible and put 100% of my heart and soul into it. And I kind of think of what I would want to see if I was sitting in the audience. And I just, try to put my best foot forward.
Yeah, but you have to, the purist, you have to match what they did, almost note for note, in their minds, while at the same time, as you try to evolve the band, take them in the new direction and get their confidence. And with Kansas, it worked. You got 3 songs on the album that, listen, you can believe in me. We got this. We know what we're doing. That's got to be a tough road for you.
Yeah, I mean, the music world is not an easy one. And, I paid a lot of dues in the clubs around the tri-state area and beyond. And, it's the life of a musician. There's always some sort of humbling thing around the corner. So I've always been one to knuckle down and get to work and, just try to make it as good as I can.
Tom, it's been a blast. You got to come on again. Anytime you want, you let me know.
I will. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a pleasure.
You got it. It's Kansas, the new album, Absence of Presence. That's Tom Brislin, and all the best, my friend.